A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are. Thank you so much once again for joining us right here on yet another episode of This Is My Story with myself, Daniel Anunda. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice through the testimony that He has given us in this day through our sister who's right here ready to testify of the goodness of the Lord. You think you have gone through situations and circumstances in life. Wait until you hear what she has to tell you. And above all, you will understand and know that God is above every other situation that you're going through, that He's able to pick you from the bottomless pit and put you on a pedestal where you will rejoice and give Him all the glory. This is my story with myself, Daniel Anunda. Na kama kawaida, if you haven't subscribed, I give you a moment to subscribe onto this particular channel right there. And of course, hit that notification bell so that every moment we upload a new video, you get to know the first one. Unapata ya kwanza kabisa, VVIP, and that we continue to be blessed right here together. Thank you so much and welcome once again to This Is My Story. And my story, God's glory. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
What is your name?
My name is Sally Agalo Kwenda.
Agalo Kwenda.
Kwenda is my father. People sometimes wonder, Kwenda. I dropped that name when I was in school. Because you know, when you're a child and people say Kwenda, it's like,
oh, they use it against you.
But I love it now that I'm grown. I'm happy. So Dan, I am 51 years old.
Wow.
That is something that a lot of women don't want to talk about.
You're 51.
Your age. How do you tell people your age? But I'm proud to be 51 years old.
You don't look 51.
I know. People say I look 30 and yeah.
Okay.
I like what you say, this is the day the Lord has made. That's my favorite verse.
Wow.
Because this is the day the Lord has made, that we would rejoice and be glad in it.
Yeah.
So the reason why I like introducing myself and giving my age is because I almost died in 1999. I wanted to take away my life.
Why?
Yes, because I got very sick. I'd lost 2 babies. What? Just me, seriously. One at 2 months, another at 7 months, and I was married then.
After birth?
After birth, yes.
So you get you get pregnant, carry the pregnancy for 9 months, and then you get the baby, you deliver, 2 months.
They die. I get pregnant again, 7 months, they die. And I was bitter with God at some point. And I said, God, why are you coming and showing me this and then taking the babies away? But God had other plans for me. So I got so depressed. And because now I was falling sick all the time after the second baby dying. I had a loving husband. But after this happened, he just changed suddenly. Like... You know, they say you only know someone's true colors once you've lived with them.
Yes.
When we were courting and we were just loving each other, I didn't see any signs of any bad person in him. But when this happened, he changed completely.
So after losing the 2 babies? Yeah,
he became drunkard. He was all over the place doing funny things. So one day, I got very sick. I was hospitalized. I'd been hospitalized before, but this time it was very serious. So I was in hospital for almost a month. And then I got better and I was discharged. I told, come after 1 week, get your results. We've taken some blood samples. We'll give you the results in 1 week. So I go. It was in a government hospital. We were living in Mombasa then. So we're in a queue, you know, they say, next. So I was the next. And then I walk into that room and the lady was seated there, tells me, what's your name? I tell her. And then she pulls a drawer and gets some brown envelopes. And then reads my name and say, oh, Sally, uko na ukimwi.
Aye?
Yes.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Who does that?
And you know, in the 90s, HIV was like what we have corona now. Like if you hear someone has corona, you freak off. Like, so when I was told I have AIDS, I saw that brown envelope like it had my burial permit in it. Like I'm just seeing I'm a walking corpse. So the next thing is to go and look for mourners. So I just became numb and I'm seated here and she tells me, you need to go. You see the line out there. The queue is so long. You need to give me opportunity, a chance to see other patients. So you need to leave now.
What do you mean? There was no counseling or anything like that?
She just said you have to leave because I have to see other patients. And I sit there and I start crying. He said, you have to leave. And I just left. So the first mourner, because I have my burial permit, was my husband. So he asked me, how was it at the hospital? I said, the same way that the news was given to me. So I hand over the envelope to him and said, Niko na ukimwi. I have AIDS, the same way I was told in the hospital. And it was a Friday. And then, I don't know what happens on Friday, but I hear it's Members' Day, not for Kesha. Yeah, but people go for I don't know what.
Some membership somewhere.
He was one of the members of that day. So it was a Friday. So he just went into the room, changed, and left. So he could do that. Change, go, come back on Monday, like that. So it went on for like 2 months. And I kept on telling him, you're ignoring me, I've lost my babies, I don't even have hope in this world. Why should I even be here? I kept on telling him not to take away my life. So this particular day, I was so determined. I was so weak. I had all the opportunistic infections that come with HIV. I had tuberculosis, I had zoster, I had pneumonia, all these diseases that come with HIV. So one day I just told him, today I'm going to commit. And he said, oh, okay. That's what you've decided. When I met you, you had 32 teeth. And you are over 18 years.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, anyone over 18 years can make a decision. So if that is what you've decided,
okay.
Go ahead.
Now, can I take you
good luck.
behind Kidogo? Now, you've been told you have HIV and AIDS. Did it not disturb you? How did I get to this point? Where did it come from? What happened?
I just went numb because I didn't. Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because that time it was, if you have HIV, it was AIDS. You have AIDS, you die.
Yeah.
So for me, all I was seeing was death.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying I went into deep depression.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, so when am I dying? When am I dying? Every day. When am I dying? And it was just death that was coming in my mind. I was born again, by the way. And sometimes I tell people, when you're witnessing, don't tell people that when you get saved, then your troubles will evaporate, or they will dissolve, or they will whatever. Because when you get saved, that is when the devil wants you.
Yes.
When you're not saved, you're on his side. So when you get saved, then you're not even on his side. So that's when he's looking for you. So this person was telling me that when you get saved, my husband had brought issues. So the person who was witnessing to me told me that when you get saved, all your problems will come. So I got saved because of that statement.
Knowing that you would have problems.
So I can't say that I had that conviction. But anyway, I prayed and I confessed my sins and I was told I'm born again. But it didn't really hit me. I was just taking it because I was going through these marital issues and I thought they would be over. So I just got saved because of that. And then they became worse. And then now I lost my baby.
Yeah.
So I told this guy, today I'm going to die. And he said, it's fine. So for me, that was like a rubber stamp on my burial permit. Because I already had a burial permit.
Yeah.
So as usual, as a lady, you always have some coins in the house. So I was so weak, but I couldn't even reach, like, this glass is here. I couldn't even reach. I was so weak.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I got the energy from. So after he left to go to work, I just woke up from the bed and went and got some coins in the house, wrote a suicide note, and actually walked. We were living in Changamwe and I walked to the post office in Mombasa, posted the letter, and then I had some coins that were left. And someone was telling me that is what saved me. There was this person who was begging at the entrance of the post office.
Yeah.
So I just threw those coins. I didn't want to go with anything. So I just after posting the letter, I threw the coins in that tin and walked to the ferry. I don't know where I got the strength from. It was like over 5 kilometers, but I walked. And at the ferry, I boarded the ferry, and the devil is real. The devil was communicating with me. It is okay. It's a good decision you made. Your husband has put a rubber stamp on the burial permit.
Yeah.
Oh, your kids are gone, so follow them. And I was just seeing that. Ready to go. So I boarded the ferry at Tesco. In the middle of the ocean, I died.
You actually dived?
I'm a non-swimmer. And I have phobia for water. Like the water I can take is a glass of water or maybe in a basin to shower. That's all I can take for water. So I was very sure that I would drown.
Mm-hmm.
And I stood very strategically at the ferry. There's this propeller that.
Yeah. Oh,
So
Lord.
I thought it would catch me into the even before that water killed me. So I was so focused.
Yeah.
Of course, being guided by the devil.
Yeah.
Shame. But anyway.
What?
Yeah, so I'm in the water and I'm floating. I thought in my stupid mind I would drown because I'm a non-swimmer.
What?
But I am floating.
Wow.
I'm really fighting with this water and nothing is happening. I'm just floating. And then suddenly I just felt some peace. I don't know if that is what death is. Because the people who die have never come back to share their story. But what I felt was very peaceful. You know the way you can hold a baby on your lap and they sleep?
No, sleep, yes.
Yeah, that's what I felt. And I had a voice telling me that you are mine.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I brought you and I will take you at what now.
Wow.
I want you to go and save my people. And I thought that was my greatest voice. So when you said go and save my people, the go became so strong, like I almost stood on water and started running. Because it was like someone pushing you.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
And before, just to go a little bit back, when I dived into the ocean, you know in Mombasa people believe a lot in ghosts. Hey, majini ya Mombasa.
Daya. Angalia.
Andruka huyu unapona azami huyu.
No.
So when the voice came like go.
Yeah.
And so strongly, and I got this energy to just stand and run. And I'm like, you already called me a ghost. If I dare stand on this water and run, I'll be confirming that this is a ghost.
Yeah.
But I told God, I hear you, you are God.
Yeah.
I know I will go and do your work. But for now, let it just be what these human beings want. And He let me go back. Now see the water, and I'm now seeing like the fear now came. See, but already the divers had come, and one of them overpowered me and took me back to the field.
Yeah.
Actually, the coxswain saw me and came back and the field. It was drama, I tell you. You know, Mombasa is very hot, so I was wearing open shoes. And I had everything intact. I didn't carry handbags, I just wanted to go. And so they're like, how do we know who she is?
Yes.
How do we identify her? And then, so they're trying to put some tubes to see if I had some water. Wow. I pulled that tube, nikaketi. And they all stood back like, oh my God. Wow. You know someone is unconscious, how you just stand. I said, don't run away, I'm a human being. Yeah. Let me tell you my story. But they were not believing. Like everybody stood away. Like, what? I said, no, this is my name and this is what happened. Yes. Nimepatikana kwenye ferry and I'm here now. I know this is Aga Khan and I was committing suicide because of ABCD. And you know, attempting suicide is equals to murder. Yes. So the police were already there with their bangles, ready to take me.
You want to kill you.
Yeah, you will have no right to take away your life or the life of another person. Yeah. So they already been called that there's someone who wants to commit suicide. So they were there with their bangles waiting for me. But I was very consistent in my story. So when I was talking to them, telling them what happened and why I was doing what I was doing, that voice again came, go and save my people. Go and save me. So I'm like, unaniharibia wakati. God is telling me to go and save. So now when I said God, huyu mwenda wazimu. Sasa tena Mungu ameingilia tena hapa. So they called in a daktari wa mwenda wazimu. A psychiatrist. Psychiatrist listened to me. I think she's just depressed. So, but before the psychiatrist, so I told them that I was married and they had called my husband and he had come. So actually what saved me that I wasn't taken to prison was when my husband came, he was already drunk. And he was asked, do you know this person? He said, yes. Yeah, it's my wife. She's my wife. Why is she here? Yes. Alikuwa anajaribu kujua. Oh, you actually know alikuwa anajaribu kujua and you didn't report. You know that is an offense. Yes. She told you she was going to commit suicide and you knew you didn't do anything? Then you have a problem. Okay, I was taken to the police station because now it's a police case. The OCS listened to my story and said, if I was living with a man like this, I would do what this woman is doing. You've lost your babies, you have a husband who is not cooperative, and you are sick and no support. what is left? I mean, it's death. So they were actually like on my side. So they said, okay, we will release you, but not in the hands of this person. You have to get us someone else. I was taken back to the hospital, and then I was told to call someone else. I'm a last born in a family of 10, so you can imagine that young. So I've lived with a sister of mine for the longest time, so she was like a mother to me. So I told, who else can we call? Because now your husband cannot take you after all this. So I called my sister, she comes, and very fast, like she couldn't take a coast bus or Rizo Magari. She had to ask for friends to give her money for a flight, because she couldn't imagine sitting in a bus for 8 hours. Like, my daughter is dying in Mombasa, ati ameokotwa kwenye ferry kwa maji, like all these things, and she knows I have water phobia. So how? She couldn't imagine, so she couldn't wait 8 hours. So she came immediately with a flight, and she found me in the hospital, and she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Like, what? You tried to do what? But I was sober. I said, okay, I tried to do this, but now God is telling me to go and save these people. If I think I have problems, He wants me to go and see people who have worse problems than I do. So then the psychiatrist sedated me for 2 days. Nikalala, so there was when I was in, I wake up after 48 hours, my story is still the same. I still tell them that this is what happened, and I was committing suicide because of ABCD. So I'm released to go home, but now with my sister not. So then I come back to Nairobi with my sister, and that time there was no medication for HIV. And the people were dying. And the only place that people were taken was Bagati District Hospital. It was actually called IDH, Infectious Diseases Hospital. So my sister I was very weak, like I was, I think, weighing 35 kilos or something. So she could just carry me to Matatu, go bring me back. There was nothing. So when I was there, miraculously, I could just talk. I was very sick, but I could still talk and tell people, nilijaribu kujiua. Na kama hiyo maji haikuniua, hata ukimwi haitaniua. And people were like, what? Other patients were like, ulitupa baharini? How? And you're still here. How? It's not possible. So just, and I could tell God, you're telling me to save your people, but I don't have the strength. So miraculously, I got strength every day. My strength was renewed every day. And I kept talking. So in 2003, now ARVs were now becoming available. Kiasi, like, it was about 6,000 Kenyan shillings, which is still a lot for a weekly dose. My sister is a widow, she couldn't afford that, and she didn't have a job by then. So we could take loans, borrow from friends, and all this.
That's 24,000 a month.
And it's just to suppress the virus. It's not like the virus will go. So if she got money, we could buy. If she didn't get money, I didn't buy. There's a friend of mine who I'll never forget. She was called Sophie. May her soul rest in peace. She died of cancer. But that time, she really showed me love. You know what she did? For a whole term, her kids didn't go to school.
Really?
So that she could buy for me the medication.
Wow.
So for me, that was God.
Wow.
And she was a dear friend, and she said, Sally, if that is what will keep you alive, let me do homeschooling for a whole term and pay for you medication for 3 months. And she did that. And I'm forever grateful to Sophie. So I'm here on and off medication. And there was an NGO that was working in that hospital, and they started the HIV clinic, and they were giving medication for free for people who lived in the slum. So when I was assessed by this social worker, they said, you live in South Sea? You have money. I'm like, living in South Sea doesn't mean we have money. My sister's husband had bought the house Kitabo, so we're just living in our house, but we have nothing. And they said, no, as long as you're not living in Kibera or any other slum, you don't qualify. So I told God, honestly, so you still want me alive? He said, yes, my grace is sufficient. Continue serving my people. And I'm like, God, I can't, I'm weak. But miraculously, He renewed my strength. So this NGO, they had my story and said, we want you to come and talk to our patients. Because when we talk to our patients, they say, kuna ule msichana utuongelesha hapa, ako wapi? We give them medication, but they still ask for you. So what do you tell them? I said, no, I just tell them, I give them my testimony. Like, people are dying and I'm here because God wants you to listen to my story that I tried to commit suicide, but I didn't die. And God has other plans for us. So if I didn't die in the ocean, then even this HIV will not kill me.
Amen.
So that was my story. I didn't die in the ocean, so HIV will also not kill me. So I kept on confessing, and the tongue is powerful. So I kept on confessing that I will not die. I will live to declare the goodness of the Lord in the land. I declare that every day. And as I told you, my memory verse is Psalms 118, verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So the NGO employs me because of my story. You know, now people are sacked. If you tell your employer you have HIV,
you're being
they will get a reason to get you out.
Yes.
But I was employed because I had HIV, and they wanted me to talk to my peers about my story and give them hope. Because, okay, they gave me a release, but before then I didn't have, and I was still going strong. So they employed me, and they gave me a very good medical insurance. So unfortunately, in 2007, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And the story was the same, like the way the news was given to me in 1999 about HIV. It was a routine check in the office, like all women should be checked for cervical cancer. So just a routine test. There's no history of cancer in my family. And so I just went boldly, knowing that there's nothing. Okay. I'm taking my ARVs, I'm fine. So cancer itatoka wapi. But I'm again called from the hospital. Sally, you need to come back. I'm like, come back? Yeah. For your results? What results?
Wow.
I go back, and again, ukona cancer.
Gotcha. That is the story that we are getting into. It's not just a story, but a testimony. Going through suicide, as you just had, and God miraculously working out in a way that she did not, die. Baada ya kudai kwenye maji, wakasema huyu jini huyu kabisa. Lakini God alikuwa na mpango upon her life. And now we're getting into another part where she thinks she has gone through a milestone and overcome. Then poof, something else comes in. A challenge after another. That because you're born again doesn't mean the road is going to be swift. There's a singer who sang and said, God did not promise that this journey will be easy, but He promised to be there with you all through. That He will hold your hand and you'll see the other side of the road. And that is the journey we are talking about here with Sally. I want you to sit down and just think about your life and look at that which you think is so easy for you, that you're taking for granted, or that situation you feel is so hard for you that you're giving up. You're about to give up and say, Lord, mimi nimechoka kabisa. And understand that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ever ask or imagine. He's able. He's a good God. He's a faithful God. This is my story with myself, Daniel Anunda, right here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Sally, you get another bombshell. Just like that.
And you know, I've lost 2 babies. And this doctor tells me, because you have HIV, we have to do what is called total hysterectomy.
What is that?
Kutoa womb na everything, that because it's going to spread. Because I already have a low immune system. So total hysterectomy means my womb will be removed. My uterus will be removed completely, the ovaries, everything, so that the cancer doesn't spread. And I'm like, Daktari, sina watoto. Removing my womb means that I'll never get kids. And he says, too bad, we have to do it. And do it fast. Like, he's talking to me and already booking theater. Can you imagine? It was so hard. And I went back and asked God, I wanted to die that time. Why did you save me?
Why didn't you allow me to die?
Because now, what is this now? But God again tells me, I want you to go and save my people. I'm like, God, what? Yes. And by this time, my husband had gotten also very sick. And of course, I come from a community where the word divorce does not exist. So our family members had talked, and their families, and we agreed to come back together so that I could take care of him. Now that they even knew that I'm employed, I have a good employer who can give us a good medical insurance. So they pleaded so much, and I struggled even with my family. And I told them, this guy wants me back. And they said, yule nifanya ukaenda kuruka baharini? That one. I tried to resist, but again God told me, I told you to go and save my people. This is one of them.
Wow.
So he put me on the spot. My people includes this guy who you do not want to see.
Your husband.
Can you imagine? It was difficult. So my family told me if you go back, you just forget about us. Choose between us and him. I said I will work for God. It was a very difficult decision to make.
Didn't you look more crazy kabisa?
What is wrong? What is wrong with you? Someone pushing you to death?
Yeah.
And you still go back? I said, it's God. I'm doing it for God. It's
Things
not
of God
me.
are just crazy.
Like I was looking at life so differently. Like I didn't care about anything of this world. And so I went back. And by the time I was being diagnosed with cancer, we were together again. So because it was a major surgery, ilibidi to sign consent pamoja. So we signed the consent with him, and he told me, sweetheart, it is okay, we can adopt a baby. I mean, there's so many babies wanatupa kwa mtaro kila siku, tutapata mmoja. We signed a consent with him, and you can't imagine what happened afterwards. So I go to theater, operation is done, nimetoka. Alafu kuna watu washwa, like wakisikia news, they can't stay, lazima waitoe ndio. Inawachoma sana. So I had this sister-in-law who okay, we are married in the same home.
Yeah.
So she could do it. She came and told me, do you know what, when you're in theater, you know what happened? Your husband called a family meeting and said, tumtafutie bibi mwingine. Tumtafutie mke msichana mdogo ambaye atampa watoto, manake wewe sasa.
Surely.
Yes.
Oh God.
And I'm like, God, really? After going through this HIV, my kids are dead, and then my husband doing this, I've come back to support him, and this is what is happening.
Yes.
And I said, why did I die in that theater? That was in that theater bed when I was being operated. I'm facing this again. So this lady came during visiting hours, but before my husband came. So my husband comes and said, I'm hearing that this is what you've done. I said, yes. Yeah, I called the family meeting and I want a woman who can give birth. You cannot give birth. Why should I? Can you imagine?
Oh God.
So he confirms this, and I was very, very bitter with God. And I told God, if living with this man is what will not take me to heaven, it is okay. Unaweza kaa na hiyo mbingu yako. It is fine, God. It is okay. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
But God gave me a lot of peace. Like I told, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. So I could always see Jesus like, I love you. I love you. Listen to me. But it was heavy. Like I was imagining going back, and this is as happened. And actually, that is what he did. He left me. Now it's not me who left him. He left me to go and look for a woman who could give him kids. And then my husband was, I said he was beautiful. Like aliubika, like you know the way we said, created in God's image. Like, oh my God, no man could resist that guy.
Wow.
So he stopped taking ARVs and just went wild looking for a baby. He just went wild.
So he left you there recuperating.
Yeah, as in even after discharge, I went back to family and he just left. So my family was like, "Tulikwambia, you see now?
Look at that.
We told you.
Yeah.
Now you see you're coming back to us." But anyway, they took me in, that love of a last born. So they took me, they had no choice. I mean, I'm their child. So they took me in and helped me to recuperate. Of course, my employer was very good. They had a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, all those people to take care of me until I got well and continued working for them. So now, my husband is gone wild. In 2012, I get news that 2012 September, that your husband is dead. Because he stopped taking medication, he went wild, and you know with HIV, you think you're spreading, you're also getting it from other people.
Yes.
Maybe he got infected or whatever it was, but he died. And it really hit me because when I was told he's dead, I didn't remember the bad moments. I only remember the good moments that we shared.
Yes.
And I went for the burial. And I shared my testimony. And I said, Huyu akukufa na I'm a Luo and in our place, you don't just die. You are killed or something happens. So I said, no, this one died from HIV.
Sema ukweli.
And guys were like, what? No one talks like this.
You don't
when
say
someone
that
died.
when they die.
A spade is a spade. I've never known it to be a big spoon. I mean, I told them, I have HIV. This man lying in this coffin had HIV.
Yeah.
And he refused to take medication and he was looking for a baby.
Yeah.
And you know, I was told that I already had some hints that he actually went shags and after people, widows, like women whose husbands had died. So I had a clue of what he was doing. So I went boldly.
And maybe those women are there.
They were there. And I said, I'm told this man was handsome.
Wow.
Even as he lies on that in that coffin, he's still handsome.
Yes.
And if he knocked on your door, please go and take medication.
What?
And everybody went. It was silence, like grave silence. And the lady just did. What? Like she was confirming. What are you talking about? That was. I said, if he knocked on your door, this is a man that you could not resist. So if he knocked on your door, please go and take medication.
Yeah.
We have a center here. I told them. When I came here, I rushed when I was told my sweetheart is dead, so I didn't even carry my ARVs. I went and picked some, and I was told the expiry because you guys don't want to take them. Please go and take.
What?
Everybody was quiet. Like, you know, like you can wish the ground to open and sink in, and it covers you. That was the environment. I could look and see their eyes, like, oh my God. Yeah, so I got a vehicle and came back to Nairobi, and my brothers were there like, oh, what did your sister say? Yeah, she told you what she said. I mean, should I repeat? That's what she said, and that's it. Ati yako na ukimwi? Msichana mrembo? You and Alipo huyu. So my brothers were like, si hata wewe pia uende ulipo basi useme uko naye.
Yeah.
So I started creating awareness like that. I just got some boldness that I don't know where from. But I remembered God telling me, go and save my people. So by talking like that, so many people went to for the test, and they actually started a small support group in that center after my talk.
Yes.
Because those who turned positive, those who didn't turn positive, I say, I got involved with it, but thank God I'm not positive. But infected a lot of people before he died.
Really?
Those I know, those I don't know. But anyway, may his soul rest in peace. So I'm here without a uterus. I can't get children. My husband is dead. And I come back to Nairobi, continue with my work.
Yeah.
So because I was told I have HIV and I have cancer now, there was very close follow-up. Because I already had immunosuppression from HIV. So follow-up every time, like every 3 months. So unfortunately in 2010, after 3 years, I'm told the cancer, we are seeing, the way the doctor said it, we are seeing some abnormal cells. Daktari, I thought you said when we remove all these things, women call it total hysterectomy. Yes. What are you talking about? We're seeing something abnormal in the colon. Let's go and check. Then the doctor is like, just casually, the colon is so long. You just cut 50 meters. 50 centimeters, like it's 2 rulers, like just saying it casually, you'll be fine. And I'm like, how many parts of my body will be cut? My uterus is gone, and now you're taking my colon. Said, unfortunately, the cancer will spread, as we told you first, it's the type that spreads. So we just cut this, and so every time they could detect that, they could cut, and it was still spreading. So they could cut my colon, and it was spreading downwards, thank God. So it spread to the rectum. And if you understand biology well, the colon, the rectum, the anus, so all that was removed. And your next question would be, you eat, how do you pass through?
How does it happen?
So I don't have all those parts of my body that I'm here today. And that's when I started. I said I'm 51 years old, by God's grace.
Wow.
I don't fear. I say I'm 51 years old because after going all this, I can still celebrate a birthday.
Yeah.
I am so grateful. And women don't talk about their age, but I gladly say I am this age because of what God has done for me. So this time I go to the hospital and I'm in a lot of pain. Cancer has pain. The pain of cancer, I wouldn't want anyone to pass through that. And so the doctor tells me, don't worry, we'll give you a colostomy and you'll be fine. I'd gone to theater so many times for different procedures. Like the times I would count 13 times. The ones I lost count at 13. So I'm told, don't worry, this is just one of those. So I'll give you a colostomy and you'll be fine. Then if I ask you today, what is a colostomy? Would you answer?
I don't know. What is that?
But I said, since I've gone through a lot and this is just one of those, okay, let's go. So I signed a consent to go to theater and I'm out. Of course, I'm drowsy after that anesthesia thing, and I wake up and a nurse is standing there like, my dear, you need to remove that bag. I'm like, what bag? When I went to theater, my bags went home.
Yes.
I thought when you go to theater, your things are taken home. So what bag? He said, that bag. And she kept on pointing at my side, that bag. And I'm like, bag? But I decided to look at what he's pointing, and I saw something reddish on the side of my body. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, that one. So I'm seeing my intestine hanging outside my body. And I'm like, intestine is an organ that should be inside the body, not outside. And we're from theater and I'm already in the ward and my intestine is hanging out. He said, unfortunately, that's what I'm telling you, remove that. And so there was something attached to it. Like that. So poo was coming out on this thing.
Yes.
And that's what he was telling me to remove. And I'm like, what? I asked the doctor, you mean we went to theater and you left my intestine hanging out? Again, I wished I could have died that time. What is this, God? But God says my grace is sufficient. This is the thorn in your flesh, but I will help you take care of it. God, really? So I said I'm not leaving this hospital until I see anyone else whose intestine is hanging out. Because you're telling me it's normal. The doctors come and say it's normal. So I'd already become an activist in the HIV field. So no one is telling me how to do this bad thing. And the nurse, one day the nurse looked at me and said, I'm telling you to remove this thing and you're not removing it. And I said, I may not understand what you're talking about. Can you help me? I'm like a baby. Maybe you've put a diaper on me. So you need to help me change it until I'm grown and then I know what it means. She looked at me and said, Utajipanga. And left. And it is one of the biggest hospitals in this country.
They treat people like that.
I was like, if this is happening here, what is happening in private hospitals?
Public.
Yeah. In public hospital. This is a private hospital.
Yes.
And I'm being told utajipanga. So what wanajipanga aje huko? Kenyatta and the rest.
Yeah.
So that is what gave me the determination to go and start now looking for these people whose intestines are hanging out like mine. But I was in hospital for 2 months. Like, until I know how to do this, I'm not leaving. So one day, the surgeon comes, of course, the normal rounds after day 7 a week. This bag is still here.
You're struggling with it.
I don't know what to do. And I'm seeing my intestine, I'm so traumatized. I can't even touch it because I'm like, what?
So all this period, there's nothing you did about it? Nothing?
No, and I refused to eat because when I ate, I could see poo coming out from there. And I'm like, what? I'm so scared.
Yeah.
So I just told the doctor, you know what? Wewe unacheka na mimi hapa. Lakini leo, you know what I'll do? I'll strip myself naked and walk on this corridor during visiting hours. And you know that what that means to the reputation of the hospital. So he thought I was laughing with him. I told him that is what I'll do. If you don't tell me what this thing is and why you left my intestine hanging out, I'll walk on this corridor. Akaniangalia kaona huyu leo amejam. So yule sali ucheka na sisi. So he called a male nurse. So this male nurse came and sat on my side, and first he removed. I didn't even want to see what he was doing. I looked away, covered my face, and he was doing his thing, and he finished. Can you look at me and said, you finish your thing and go. And I was saying, if nikitoka hapa naenda kujua, I can't take this because I don't know what else is waiting. Nikitoka hapa, this time God, me wewe hiyo mbinguni yako utakaa nayo mstaki. So he tells me that, Sally, you remember when you came in, you were very sick and you were in pain, and the doctor said colostomy. Do you remember that one? He said, yes, I remember something vividly, I remember. So this is what it meant, colostomy. The doctor was going to cut the rectum part of the colon that was left and the anus and remove them.
Mm.
And because your life must continue, you have to eat, digestion has to take place, and the stool will come out. So we had to look for a way of it to come out. So the doctor created another passage of stool, and that is what is called the colostomy.
Wow.
I'm like, what? And then he tells me,
Unfortunately, Tena.
yeah, because cancer had spread to your rectum, it was removed. So you have to live with this condition for the rest of your life.
What?
So you'll enjoy life, you'll enjoy your food, but it will only be coming out through that hole that was created, which is called the colostomy. The rest of my life? Yes. So then, I'm here. Actually, we're in March. So on the 17th, it will be my 11th year with the colostomy.
11 years! Wow.
But what is challenging about the colostomy is this is the colostomy bag that collects the stool.
Okay.
So if you see this here, there's a hole here. This is an adhesive. So you peel off this and stick it to the body.
Okay.
So then it collects the stool. So the intestine goes in there. The stool goes there.
So the intestine is still outside?
Yes. It's a hole. So up in the catwa, and then a hole was made. You see the way you do matumbo like this, ukiosha?
Yes.
So it was done like that and sutured on top of the skin. Outside the skin. So the stool, it's not painful now. I mean, it's... Yeah, so of course it was painful then. And of course the pain, the psychological torture. But it's fine now. So I wear this bag every day of my life. And I'll wear it for the rest of my life. So when I say I'm 51 years old, I'm so proud to say that because I've gone through all this. So I wear this bag. So I said, is there anyone else? And they said yes. This nurse tells me yes. Are you sure there is? Yes. It's not so mean because Mungu, so kuna watu wengine, yeah. So I said, I'm not leaving this hospital until I see other people. Not one, not two. I want to see others. So he brought me about 6 people, the 2 months that I was in hospital. And then I told them, from my HIV world, we are in support groups. So just to give each other moral support, psychosocial support. So I said, can we start a group for people who have this condition? And they said, yeah, why not? So in 2010, we started a support group for people who have colostomies. And the group is there, Colostomy World Kenya. And from that time, I've met over 300 people who have this condition. Watoto, watu wazima. Because you can have a colostomy due to a lot of things. Anything affecting your colon. Your colon, the small intestine, the bladder. Some people get cancer in the bladder. So the bladder is cut and whatever comes out now is urine. So for me it's stool, but for some people it's urine. So they wear something called a urostomy. So this is a colostomy bag. The challenge here is we don't have this in this country. In Kenya, we don't have this. If you're lucky to find one, a piece of this would go for between 600 and 1,000 bob. So 1,000 bob, utakula, utalipa school fees, utanunua colostomy bag. Moja.
600 to 1,000.
So if you eat, it fails, you remove it, you put another one. Every day. Depending on how much you eat, you can use 2 or 3 bags in a day. How many Kenyans can afford that? So we usually get donations from Canada, but again donations, it's like that. If you don't go to church, the pastor will not get offering, which is the salary. So if you depend on donations come, sometimes they don't come. So like for me, I'm limited. I only eat 1 meal a day. So that I don't use so much of this. So you can imagine the psychological torture for many Kenyans. I've seen people who are using polythene bags. Because I'm in Nairobi, I have that privilege of friends supporting me once in a while. Or I get the donations when I do such talks. But how many people can afford? Even if someone is supporting you, they'll get tired. There's what we call donor fatigue. I think someone will support you, but at some point they say, Sali wachaji pane. So you are there, you have to use a polythene bag.
So is there any way the government can come up and subsidize perhaps the use of...
No, the government supplies this bag, but it's not a quality bag. If I did wear a quality bag, I couldn't be sitting with you here because of the smell. The way this bag is made, it's so special that it has charcoal here, so that you can't smell.
Okay.
You can't smell it. But what the government is giving is substandard.
Okay.
It's not good.
So
it's not a quality bag, and it can, even the adhesive can't stick. You can even use 5 in a day.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stick. Even the corruption and
yeah.
people are giving. I've even talked to them and told them this is the quality bag we need. But still, they give us the.
It's not like they cannot afford.
They can't afford. Someone can.
Oh.
All in all, God has been faithful. So, as again, I say, Psalms 118 verse 24, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, when I wake up, I tell God, this is your day. You are the one who has made this day.
Amen.
Not HIV, not cancer, not colostomy, not what. It is your day, God.
Yeah.
I want to go out there and be a blessing to someone.
Yeah.
I always say God gives us 24 hours in a day. 8 hours to work and put food on the table. 8 hours to just have enough rest. Sleep vizuri ndio ukiamka akili iko alert. What do you do with your 8 hours done? I've chosen my 8 hours to create awareness, share my story to inspire someone, and tell them that there is hope. Let's keep hope alive. So that's what I do every day. And just to go to hospitals and talk to people and tell them, I was diagnosed with HIV, I'm here today, 21 years. I was diagnosed with cancer, 2007, I'm here today. I'm having a colostomy bag 11 years now. So just that, I don't have a job right now, but I wake up every day to go out there and just tell people there is a God who loves you. So to encourage someone out there, I say that there's nothing that is impossible with God, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Last year, with the help of God, 15 of us cancer survivors were able to go to Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is 4,895 meters above sea level, and we were able to reach the top in 3 days. So I must say that nothing is limiting me from doing whatever I need to do as much as I have this condition. So keep hope alive.
Sally.
That's my story.
Sally. What a story. You have gone through it all.
By God's grace.
And God has kept you. Nobody can even know, as in, I saw you okay, you smiling and all that. That is amazing.
And by then people lose their hair from cancer. I didn't lose. This is my hair.
Yeah.
These are dreadlocks. This is my hair. I've kept it for over 10 years now. So God has been faithful.
Thank you. Somebody wants to get to reach out to you. How can they get to you? Perhaps somebody wants to support you, job, your work, the work you do. Maybe you look at that camera and tell us. So
my phone number, even for if you need counseling or you want to any kind of support, to give me any kind of support, you can reach me on 0725 234935. On Facebook, I'm Sally Kwenda. I also have a page, Agado Kwenda. And I also have a PayPal account, sallykwenda@yahoo.com.
Wow, Sally Kwenda, your story has just blessed me. Mtu anakaa hapa anasema Mungu wangu, Mungu janipatia kazi, nimekaa vizuri. As in, that is a drop in the ocean. It is a drop. What Sally has gone through, suicide. Amepoteza watoto wawili, mume wake, cancer. How many? 2 times? 3 times? 3 times. No colon. As in, all that. But she can sit here and say that God is still God. He remains to be God. And a singer sang and said that the God on the mountain is still God. The God on the valley will remain to be God. The God of the good times and the bad times. No situation changes who God is. Keep on trusting in God, and He will make your life, He'll take you through to the other side. As she said earlier on, the journey is not easy, but God gives you the strength to go through. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming through. God bless you. All right. Thank you so much for watching this particular episode of This Is My Story. I believe you have been blessed, you have been touched, and of course, uplifted by her story. So whatever it is you're going through, no matter the kind of illness, circumstances that the enemy has brought your way, remember, you are more than a conqueror. Before a testimony, there has to be a test. And if you overcome that test, you will have something to tell. And God will give you the grace and the strength to go through all that. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Am I speaking to someone right there? So thank you so much once again. God bless you. Keep the journey. Press on toward the mark of the high calling. And at the end of it all glory and honor will be to our God. Finally, if you haven't subscribed, thank you so much for those who have subscribed. We're doing well and we are running so fast. Let us hit that 1,000 subscribers in a few days' time. I'll be so happy so that we can be able to spread this gospel wider and larger to greater nations. Thank you so much. Until next time, same place, same time. God bless you. My name is Daniel Anunda, and this has been This Is My Story. My story, His glory. Bye-bye. God bless you.